What's going on, Leeds? JTLive, welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. And we all know what time of the day, time of the week, time of the month this is. And it's not a pretty time for Leeds United, but it is something that we could all see coming from a mile away, unfortunately. And that is that Leeds have lost to Southampton. Ipswich beat Huddersfield, so there is now a 6-point swing between the two. The season is over. Leeds United are doomed to finish in the playoffs. Well, we've already finished in the playoffs, should I say. That's the season over for Leeds in terms of the league campaign, but a new cup campaign starting in a very short term, which is, of course, the playoffs, which we will get into in a little bit. But first of all, I do want to touch on the two matches that happened today. I mean, the fact that Ipswich won didn't really matter what happened to Leeds today. I mean, we went out of a whimper. It was really a poor performance, if you ask me. There didn't seem to be a lot of heart there. Didn't seem to be a lot of determination. By the 60th minute, when we took Rutter off, I could see that Farke was, he had his eyes on the playoffs. He was trying to rest him. They probably didn't have much faith in Huddersfield doing us a favour by doing a job on Ipswich, which you'd expect because Huddersfield were already down. And they don't like Leeds anyway, so why would they want to go out of their way to do Leeds a favour? That doesn't even benefit them. So it was all pretty much a certainty that Ipswich were going to win their match and that Leeds were going to be done, which is why I think this is a little bit easier for a lot of us to take, because we weren't really as invested as we could be. We were watching it with a blind bit of faith and a blind bit of hope, but in general, we all kind of saw this coming. But the manner in which it happened, very poor by Leeds. Defensively is really, really awful. The manner of their goals, their first goal, they had or is it their first or their second goal where Che Adams cut it back? They had three men on the inside the 18-yard box by the back sticks unmarked. Three men completely unmarked. It was a joke of defending. Honestly, it was skid mark defending through and through from Leeds there. Really, really poor. And if we are going to try to hope to win the playoff, we're going to need to improve these things big time, because right now, defensively, we are very, very questionable. Very, very questionable defensively. And you can't see us keeping a clean sheet against a Norwich, against a Southampton, against whoever we might end up playing in the final. Who knows? All I know is there are a lot of things that need to be addressed. But the fact that we lost, I look at it in a positive sense. I look at it positively because at least there's no papering over the cracks. Yes, we don't have the confidence going into the playoffs necessarily that we would have got from having a win. But, even if we won, we weren't going to be high-flying in confidence anyway, because we would have been relying on Ipswich dropping points, and then them winning would have just been an absolute kick in the teeth. And it would have been like, well, if only we'd have beat QPR, would have been up. So at least this way, it was completely out of our hands. We lost. There's no papering over the cracks. We know the deficiencies that we have in the side. We know which players should be starting, which players shouldn't, which players need to pick up their form. The tactics that need to change, the squad selection that needs to change. This has all been made very, very clear to us through the game today. I thought Perot, he scored a nice goal. Would I have kept him on the pitch for as long as he did? No, would have kept Rutter above him. But again, the fact that he took Rutter off instead of him leads me to believe that he is resting him for the playoffs, because obviously he's still not 100% fit. And he probably had one eye on that. It was nice to see Connor Roberts come into the fold as well. I think he could play a vital role for Leeds. Archie Gray coming off the bench. Hopefully he's rejuvenated and could really give us a good cup run in the playoffs. Or a good, playoff run. Good performances in there. And it is confirmed that we're going to be playing Norwich. It is Norwich that we're going to be playing, who we've beaten twice already. I forgot that fact, and someone reminded me of that in the chat, that we've beaten them twice already, which doesn't necessarily give me too much confidence, because as you know, we beat Derby 2 times before, beat them again the third time, and then the fourth time was just one win too many for Leeds to muster. Are you going to beat a side 4 times in one season? Quite unlikely. Hopefully what I'm hoping is that we just go in, pulverise them in the first leg, 4-0, 5-0, put on a clinic, and then the second leg, take our foot off the gas, maybe edge our way through to a draw, maybe, crumb through a 1-0 or something like that. Just play defensively, keep the game as it is, and get ourselves through to Wembley. Am I sat here bouncing off the walls with confidence that we're going to do that? No, because Leeds haven't given me anything to feel that confidence ever before, especially in playoffs. We always crumble it in playoffs, but hopefully this year is different, and we do have Daniel Farke. Daniel Farke has a phenomenal record of getting up, usually he's automatically not through the playoffs, but he still has a phenomenal record. He's up against his old club. It would be typical Leeds to go up against his old club, who he's got promoted over Leeds in previous seasons, and go and lose to them in the playoffs. It just would be typical Leeds, wouldn't it? Cursing Farke, cursing everyone. But I have to have some sort of faith, and I really want to know what you guys think. I know a lot of you were saying you're a lot happier that you're playing Norwich instead of West Brom. Is there a particular reason for that? If so, please let me know down in the comment section down below. Now, as for Southampton, this is where things get interesting. Are they going to make it through to the final at Wembley? You would presume that they would. You would predict that Southampton would get through. A lot of people are already saying Leeds Southampton final, as it's, without anything else happening. Everyone's already predicting that. It's not guaranteed to be that. If it is that, and that's a big if, and I'm really saying it's a big if, it's really not guaranteed. I wouldn't count any of these other sides out. But if we get to the final against Southampton, I think we smoke them. I think we smoke them differently. And that is the one game I would have confidence for, is Southampton in the final at Wembley, because we've lost to them twice already. I would feel a lot, and this is really going to come out of left field, because I know a lot of you were like, let's beat them so we can get confidence, get in their heads, carry that momentum forward, hopefully beat them in the playoff final. But I look at it the other way around. We've lost to them twice in one season. We ain't losing a third time. No way. Southampton weren't even that great today. We made mistakes ourselves. We could have scored a couple. The referee was really poor. It's about time we get our luck against them. It's about time we get our win back. And if we do play them in the final, that will be the poetic justice of Leeds finally getting our win over Southampton this season. Finally defeating them. We've lost to them when they've been on very poor form. But the fact that we're playing them a third time, I don't see them beating us a third time. I really, really don't. At the best they can hope for is a draw, penalties. But even then, I just really feel like if Leeds do come up against Southampton, because of the way the game went today, that just adds up to me. It just adds up. I don't see them beating us 3 times in one campaign. I just really don't. And we've learnt them out. We didn't play our best. We didn't play our best last time we played them either. So they haven't fully figured out our strongest 11. They haven't fully figured out what we're like at our best. And if we turn it on and we do play them, I think we will beat them. But anyway, who do you guys think is going to get to the playoff final? How do you think Leeds are going to fare? Do you have any confidence that Leeds are going to make it? And were you very, very disappointed today? Or did you see it coming from a mile away and not really read too much into the performance, which was a bit, it was a bit up and down. It was a bit 50-50, and it was actually a decent game to watch, especially in the first half. There's a lot of action in it, but it's just the fact that both teams really didn't have much control over the game that kind of just took the bite out of the game for me. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Are you feeling the rhythm? Are you feeling the rhyme? Do you want Leeds to get up like it's Bob Slade time? Please let me know down in the comment section down below. For now, because we'll see you soon. And have what, my brothers and my sisters.